Shalom, shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Set Apart Man. Man, the channel where we help men learn how to live set apart, live more obedient to the word of the Most High, and navigate this wicked world according to righteousness. Man, you know, first and foremost, I didn't never think that I would have to even make a video like this, but it is evident that some men do not have anybody of a male type, of a strong male figure to pour into them, and they make one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a man. And that is, you know, calling yourself being a grown man, but you're constantly moving in with women. Your mindset says, man, it's okay for me to move in. And you wonder why, you know, you find yourself in some of the situations that you do as a man. So today, man, I'm gonna break this down because I don't want men to fall by the wayside. And a lot of modern women are trying to, as they struggle in their independence financially, man, they're wanting a man to move in with them. They're not trying to, you know, come into a man's house, build family with man. They want a man to move in with them. And we're going to talk about why that always backfires on men that do this. Let's talk about it.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
About it. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another righteous Ruach Spirit-filled episode of the Set Apart Man. Once again, I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business. You know, the only woman that I have moved in with, ever moved in with, was my mama. And I tell you, man, that was an environment where I said, nope, not happening. I moved in with my mama at the age of 12 or 13. I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandparents said, you know what? Your mom is doing well enough. You can go move with her. Rightfully so. And I moved in with my mama, who was on Section 8 then. Is still on Section 8 to the day. And man, I learned my mom had a boyfriend back then where he was the kind of dude to move in with a woman. Rather than standing flat-footed, being a man that provides and protects, you know, man, he was able to enter in my mother's house by way of dropping digging stick, by dropping off dick. They was living in fornication. But before I go any further and tell you why that backfired, man, I need all men watching this to hit the like button, because I'm dropping some useful information that young men may not have access to, today. And because of that, man, they're going to be carrying their stuff in trash bags when this thing goes south, and it will go south. Hit that like button, smash that like button. Don't cost you anything. Secondly, subscribe to the Set Apart Man YouTube channel. Turn your notifications on, set to all notifications. That way you don't miss a single video. Thirdly, you know, drop me a comment down below answering the question, why do you think that men, grown men, should not move in with women? Whether it is an apartment, whether it's a house, no matter what, why do you feel, or why do you think, in your opinion, men should not do that? Let me know down in the comments, man. Let's start the dialogue. But man, my mom had a boyfriend who, on his own merit, went from his parents' house as a 30-year-old man, okay, you know, didn't have a car, didn't have his own spot, you know, moved straight in with my mama. And my mama, mental as she is, you know, allowed this man in, and you know what he did? He set up an environment to make it feel like his home, but it was never his home. The foundation wasn't his. Foundation wasn't his at all. Man, that relationship, so that relationship ended, and it ends like, you know, a lot of men that do this, man, they end up with their stuff thrown out, you know, carrying their stuff out in white, you know, kitchen trash bags, yard bags. And man, if you want to avoid that, as a man, man, you don't want to make the mistake of moving in with a woman. Man, oftentimes men aren't up on game on the type of tactics that women use against men. You know, men are oftentimes ignorant to it, and they fall right into a trap. The reason I say that is because, man, a woman knows, especially in this daytime and hours, crafty as women are, man, you'll have a woman say, you know, man, I think we should move in together. And if you're a man of no divine wisdom, if you're a man that's out here fornicating, you're a man that really can't stand on your own 2 feet, you might actually be foolish enough to say, you know what, man, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But in her mind, she knows the whole time, man, I'm about to control this man because he's in my house. He's setting the rules. You know, I'm gonna tell him what to do. And this is always how it ends up for men like this. Man, you and that woman have a disagreement. It can be a falling out. And you really can't stand flat-footed because you don't have a firm foundation anyways, based on you moving in with a woman. And the minute you get on her nerve, the minute y'all have a disagreement, the minute, you know, y'all fall out, she's gonna tell you, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't have to deal with this. You can just get out of my house. And whether that is an apartment or whether that is a house, you're gonna be sitting up here thinking about, do you mean get out of the house, give you a moment to breathe and calm down? Or is that a pack my stuff up, find somewhere else to live? And as a man, I'll tell you, I ain't never put myself in that boat because of things that I've seen. I've seen men that move like this and it never has ended up good. You know, when I lived with my mama in the Section 8 housing area, there was men like my mama's boyfriend who would move in with him. Some of these men had cars and they looked fly. They looked like they had it going on from the outside. But the reality was, man, these men didn't have places to live. Men pulling up to the house, man, they pulling up to the house in a car, backing in like these places belong to them. This is back when people was putting rims on Maximas, you know, backing in, pulling in the neighborhood, beating, and it's not even your place of residence. You're just resting your head there. You just moved in. And I tell you, every time, man, it'd be a falling out late at night. You see a woman chunking this man clothes out. And you don't even, as a man, let's just say, for instance, she gets into something and you're already not on a good foundation as a man and you really can't facilitate the help she needs. She's gonna tell you to get going. She'll talk to you any kind of way, talk to you crazy, talk to you like she's your mama. You got to think, man, the book calls for men to be protectors and providers. The word says, you know, a man that does not provide for his family, especially those of his own household, is an infidel and is worse than an infidel and has denied the faith. That means when you look behind the etymology of these words, man, it's telling you that, okay, as a man, you should be able to provide the necessities for a woman and your family. That's food, shelter, clothing. Some men just don't have it. Some men are out here trying to piece it together, and how they piece it together is, well, man, I really can't afford to be a man on my own, so let me find a woman who I think is naive. And oftentimes men think that they're winning when they move in with women, but that is a low functioning, low vibrational, low frequency, man moving like that. And you're not pulling the wool over these women eyes. No, because at some point, they're gonna put you out. They're gonna put you out. Okay, here's another one. I don't recommend men move in with other men and be roommates where you don't have any stake or claim in. Now, if both of y'all is on the lease and y'all are just trying to, save money, that's one thing. But how many times have we seen a man be a roommate with a man that has his name on the lease, but your name ain't on the lease, and that person's been taking your money that you've been paying to them in rent, and then you find out, there's an eviction or a foreclosure, and you got to be out of there in 10 days. What if you just gave that person money for that month and it fell through? A man should never put himself in a position to be thrown out, and that's the baseline, fundamental part that I want you to understand. Anytime a man does not stand on his own 2 feet like he should as a man, and he counts on a woman or somebody else to do that, you're gonna get taken advantage of. You're gonna get exploited. It's not gonna end good. It's not gonna, here's another one. You got some men that rather than having will, drive, and determination to be about their business, they don't go out there. They don't try to get a driver's license. They don't want to get no car. They just want to, okay, you think about baby boy. Jody was the kind of dude that moved in with women. And when that backfired, when Yvette threw him out in the movie, what did Jody do? Went back to his mama's house, went back to his childhood room. Low functioning, low vibrational. And you know what's crazy? Women love that movie. Women love that movie. Just that emotional and psychological, aspect of it. It's what some low functioning women love. And I'm telling you as a man, you do not want to put yourself in that environment. Right now, a lot of these women that chose independence and went out and bought these houses are on their own, never factored in how expensive this stuff is. So what are they doing? They're putting out crafty devices trying to get a man that's foolish enough to move in. Because guess what? That man might, as a man will come in and sometimes help you pay the bills and things like that. But at the end of the day, if a woman's got a house and it's in her name and she's got a mortgage on it and you foolish enough to move in, you ain't helping her pay for y'all's house. No, that's her house. And when she kick you up out of there, no, you was just paying rent. You ain't got no ownership in it. You have no say so. Young men, another thing, okay, here's one. Men say, well, we gonna move in together and we're gonna get a place together. She's gonna put her name on the lease, but I'm gonna be the one paying it. Don't do that. Some foolishness. That's some foolishness also. And it's gonna backfire on you. It's gonna backfire. You don't know how many men in my line of work in the military that have done foolishness like this, and they calling me up as their supervisor, as their first sergeant, as their leader. I don't have a place to stay. I got put out. What am I gonna do? And I've been telling them, since I knew of it, hey, that's not a good idea. You shouldn't do it. In the middle of the night, y'all gonna have an argument. You're gonna get put out. You're gonna get thrown out. They gonna be getting evicted, and you not know. And here you are with them trash bags. A lot of these men don't have no suitcase or no duffel bag over there because they don't think things out like that. So that's what you call really got your rear end. You are assed out. Tell you, man, this stuff sounds very simple. Man, this stuff sounds very simple, but in this daytime and hour where 70% of men in my community are raised by a woman in a single parent household, They just simply don't know the things that I'm saying. It doesn't never cross their mind, and they think it's a flex moving in with a woman. It's not a flex moving in with a woman, because let's see how you feel. Let's see if you feel like it's a flex when you out there in the middle of the night sitting on the sidewalk with these trash bags, hoping somebody will pick up and let you couch surf. Don't put yourself in that position as a man. The set apart man doesn't move like that. Once again, this is the set apart man, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. Until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, and stay in the word of Yah. Wow.